Hello everyone, it's Anna, also known as Bookenna, and today I have a video that is sponsored by capitalism, because today I have a book haul for you guys. I had, for the longest time, I think since October last year, on this website that I get most of my books from, I had a full cart of books. I think there were like 20-ish books in there, and I really wanted to read most of them, so I know that I want to have them, but some of them I just could not find anywhere because I live in Croatia. Our libraries mostly do not own the books that I am interested in, so I usually have to buy them. If I cannot find them in ebook form anywhere, then I have to buy them. So that's what happened. Celebrate my birthday, and so I got some of these books for my birthday, and the others I bought. So I think that it's safe to say that since beginning of this year till today is April 15th, I went to bookstore and bought for myself about 10 to 15 books. I really try to be mindful with buying books. I try not to buy the books that I just think are interesting. I try to buy books that I really am very into and that I really loved, or I believe that I will really love. Now I'm going to go through all the books that I bought, and if I already read it or I have anything to say about it, I'm going to give you guys say something about it. Okay, first book that I have is Lady Macbeth by Eva Reid. I have two of her books. I have Juniper and Thorn, and I have Studying Drowning by her also, and I like her writing a lot. I think that she writes really cool horror fantasy. It always sounds like I say horror, not horror-y. So cool horror fantasy books. I plan to give it a read in the next 2 months. I will see when. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I've been waiting for this one since last August, and then I was waiting for a little paperback to come out so I can buy it in this form. So yeah. The next one I have is a fantasy series, and I have the first one, and I bought it because here in Croatia, whenever I go to bookstore, they're always missing the first one out of this series. So when I came into the bookstore and they just got it, so I just picked it up and bought it. But it's The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I heard so many good things about this series, and I really wanted to pick it up, and finally have the first one, so now I will be able to pick it up. The next book that I have is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, and this one I got for my birthday. This one is a prequel to Priory of the Orange Tree. Still have not gotten to this one yet as well, because I'm kind of scared that I will maybe need to reread Priory of the Orange Tree, but I hope I won't. The next one I also got for my birthday, and that is Son of Blood and Ruin by Marielle Lars. This one is a witchy fantasy book, I believe. I had it on my TBR and then somebody got it from me. I'm very thankful, but again, another series that I don't know when will I be able to get to it, but I will try as fast as I can. I say that for every single book, right? Because I really want to get through all of them. I have first and the second in Annihilation series by Jeff Vandermeer. I own 3 books by Jeff Vandermeer, have not read either one of them. I just read one short story in a collection that I have. I feel like Jeff Vandermeer is an author that I would enjoy so much, because it's such a weird sci-fi horror. Moriarty the Patriot. This is a manga series, and I don't know anything about it. I think it's like a Sherlock Holmes inspired manga series, and yes, that's everything I know about it. The other one I got from my friend. She was in Prague, and so she bought a Prague Golem, Jewish Stories of the Ghetto, and I'm so glad that I have this, because I would never bought it myself, and I don't know, I hope I will visit Prague someday, but I'm very happy that I have something from Prague, and a book from a place is my favorite thing to have. The last one that I got for my birthday, I think, I think it is. It is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Another book that I don't know a lot about, but I think Piranesi was an architect. I know that a lot of people that I trust, kind of the same reading taste as me, love this book, so I hope I will love it as well. But yeah, so those were my birthday books, I think. Now, the next book that I have is The Seep by Channa Porter. This is a horror book, and it's about a woman that is transgender, and she's trying to live her life, and then aliens come and start attacking. And then aliens come and start attacking. The next one I have is Chain Gang All Stars, and this is a book that I heard so many good things about, and I really wanted to have it. It sounds dystopian, it sounds like it's going to have some great conversations on our world and capitalism and prison system and everything, and I really wanted to read this one so bad. Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Yes, I loved this book last year and I really wanted to have it because this is one of the books that I took monologue for my edition from, so I really wanted to have a copy of this book because I loved it so much. Next one is also classic, one that I talked a lot about but I didn't own it before. That is Carmilla. I really wanted it and I now finally have it. I think this is currently up there with Diary of Blood of my favorite vampiric stories. It's so much better than Dracula. Just an opinion. The next book I have bought because it was one of my most anticipated book releases of 2025, and that is Beta Vulgaris. This one is about a couple. They move. They are now living on a beet farm. A woman has a lot of problems with eating disorder and her body image, and it's a beet farm. So it's House of Roots and Ruin by Aaron A. Craig. This one is sequel to House of Salt and Sorrow, which I read I think 3 years ago and I really liked, and then when the sequel came out I didn't pick it up, but I wanted to have it and wanted to read it because I really like the world. It's 12 Dancing Princesses retelling but with the horror elements, and I think it's under YA fantasy, but this is probably one of my favorite YA fantasy. Such lovely skin. It has such a lovely cover. I really love this cover, and this one is another horror book about two sisters. One of them, I think, dies, and the other one is a Twitch streamer or something like that. And then something with game, it's supernatural or something like that. I don't really remember synopsis that much anymore, but I really wanted to have this book, and I really can't wait to read it. Okay, the next book also came out, I believe this year, beginning January of this year, and that would be Language of Dragons. And I don't know how, but I got this beautiful cover. This I think is one of the most pretty special editions of a book that I ever got. The next one my boyfriend bought for me because I think it was for New Year or something. Butcher. When I looked at it, it was long a time ago, so I don't really remember the synopsis, but I believe it's about a surgeon. Yes, he's a gyno-psychiatry. Okay, and there's Asylum, and I believe it's horror fiction, maybe. I don't really remember, but again, I really want to read it. The next book that I have is probably the book that is my most unhinged buy. I don't really have a good explanation why I bought this book, because this is the last in the series, for now at least, and I didn't even read the first one, and I do not own middle ones, and that would be Into the Dark, Magnolia Parks. This series intrigued me mostly because of the covers. Whoever designed the covers of this series, they are very, very smart, because I don't even care if it's under romance category, but I think that I heard a lot of people say who read this book that they wouldn't even put it under romance. Anyway, it's like a Gossip Girl. I was scared because they reprinted them in new editions. I was scared that I would not be able to get the covers of the original covers, so I really wanted to get this one because I couldn't find it anywhere, and then when I found it, I just bought it instantly. I really want to have original covers if I like this series. Whoever designs Jessa Hastings' book, even the new one, the new book that came out this year, you're a mastermind, definitely a mastermind, because these covers are so fun. They're so fun and they're so cool. The last two books in this stack, and then I have another stack, are two books that I did not read. This stack was mostly books that I did not read, if you couldn't tell. This is one of the books that I also looked at a lot in bookstore and I never got it, and then when I didn't think through, I just told my mom to buy it for me. I know that this one happens in a camp. I know that I had this book on my TBR since it came out. So, and the other one is Silence Factory by Bridget Collins. I forgot to mention the authors in last few books, but yeah. So another one that I don't really know what it's about, but I looked at it for a long time, and I remember when I read it, I wanted to have it, so I guess I knew, but now currently I really don't remember. I'm being very mindful of the books that I buy. Whole shtick doesn't really hold up. The Unworthy, and I'm currently reading it. I'm like in the middle of the book. For now, I don't know what to think. It's a very bizarre book. I didn't read a lot of books that were this bizarre, but it's one of those books that doesn't really have a plot, which I love. So, but I still don't know. I think I will need to read this book till the end to give you my honest opinion of it, because for now I really don't know. The next book that I have is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I read this book and I loved it, definitely loved it so much, and yeah, I think most people know what this book is about because it's very popular. But Yellowface is a thriller book that is about an author whose friend passed away in weird circumstances, and she takes her friend's manuscript and puts it under another very racially ambiguous name, so people do not know if she's Asian or not. Very cringe-inducing read, I would say, but I think it was a great book. I really like art. The next book that I have is Weird Fucks by Lynn Tillman. For now I have two books by Lynn Tillman, and both of them have naked women on the cover, which I love. And both of them are so weird and bizarre and I don't know even how to talk about them, because I don't know what happens in them, but I read this one. It's very short, it was very weird, and that's it I can tell you about it. The next one I read, I think this is like the first book that I read this year, it's Mother Thing. When I'm thinking about it now, I like it even more than when I read it, I believe, because that's just something that happens with some of the books. And this book is another female rage book where we follow this woman who is in a relationship with a man whose mother just passed away. She didn't really have special connection with her mother-in-law. They had this weird, strained relationship, and this man kind of becomes depressed because his mother passed away, and it's also in his genes, you know, well, not genes, but like genes. So she's now trying to make him feel better, but she also doesn't really feel well, and we just follow her as she goes through this relationship with him and relationship with herself and with her dead mother-in-law, and she's becoming very, very unhinged, and I like those kind of books a lot. The next book I have is Lessons in Chemistry. This book I read last month and I liked it. I have a book that is my favorite book of this year and definitely one of my favorites of all time, and that is They're Going to Love You by Meg Howry. This book is so beautiful inside and out. I really want people to pick this book up. I feel like a lot of people would love it because everybody that I gave this book to loved it so much. I love the writing, I love the characters, and I want people to pick this book up so much. It's literary fiction about ballet and about family relationships and relationship between daughter and father, and yeah, it's such a pretty book and I just loved it so much. The next book that I have is Martyr, and this one is another literary fiction. With this one we have a man that is kind of going through something. Usually it's a woman in the books that I read. This one is a man that is going through something, and I like this book a lot. It's again very artsy, another book that I would really recommend to people. Then I have a book that I read a long time ago, and that is Heaven by Miyako Kawakami. I just wanted to have this book of hers as well, and I want to read more books by her. The next book that I have is Open Throat. This book has such a cool concept because we are looking through the eyes of a mountain tiger, mountain lion in Hollywood, and he lives in a Hollywood park and he just watches people go, and he doesn't really know if he feels like a mountain lion, and then this girl adopts him. And I mean, it's a short book, I won't just tell you everything that happens in this book, but I think it's a very cool book and I think it's very good. Then I have a book that is very, very famous in dark academia part of the internet, and that would be The Secret History by Donna Tartt. The next book, I have to say, this is one of the books that I don't really know a lot about, but family-centric literary fiction book, and that is Betty. Yeah, that's it I know about this book. This one I really don't know a lot. Shark Heart, which is another book that I already talked about because I read this book in, I believe, also January or February. It's a book about a couple, and they are going through this period in which husband realizes that he has a disease which makes him transform into a shark. We are following them, and then we are following wife's mother and her life as well. So the only thing that for this book, I talked about it, but the only thing that I would love for this book to have more is I would love for it to be more around the couple and not half about the couple and half about wife's family. I really wanted it to be couple-centric. The next book that I have is by one of my favorite authors ever, and that is Penance by Eliza Clark. Now, I read all the books that came out by her, and I loved all the books that came out by her. This one is a lot different from Boy Parts and She's Always Hungry because this one is thriller. This one follows a journalist, and he is studying a case of murder in which 3 girls murdered the 4th one, and then he talks with all of them and close friends and families of them and the girl that was murdered. It's all made up. I remember that I had to Google it because it was written in a way in which I wasn't sure anymore if it was made up or not. It's so interesting, and I just love Eliza Clark so much. I want to read anything by her. Our Share of the Night by Mariana Enriquez. I read for now only short stories by Mariana Enriquez, but this one is a full-on novel, very thick one as well, and it's fantasy, horror, family, drama. I believe there's like a road trip and there's generational thing, and she's just one of those authors that I again want to read a lot from. So Human Acts, this is by the author that wrote Vegetarian, which got Nobel Prize. I have not read The Vegetarian, and I have not read The Human Acts either. I just know that it's about student uprising, and that's about it that I know about it. The next book, I was so excited because I read Percival Everett, Dr. No, and I loved it so much, and then James became so popular last year and everybody talked about how good that book is, and I believe you because I like Percival Everett's writing so much, and then I needed to have James. It was on my TBR for a very long time and I really wanted to have it, and I love this cover, and I think it's a retelling of Huckleberry Finn. So it's retelling but from James's perspective, and I never read Huckleberry Finn, to be honest. I know the story a little bit, not really. Maybe I should first read Huckleberry Finn. I will try to research to see if people recommend reading Huckleberry Finn first, so I don't know. And the last two books, both of them I read. The first one is Frankenstein in Baghdad. Did really enjoy it. I will give a better review in a video that is going to be dedicated to the books that I read in the last 2 months, but for now I really like this book and I will put this book for my next month's choice, because next month we have transformation as a theme for my in real life book club, so this one is definitely going in that. The Mrs. Death, Mrs. Death, a book that I read 2 months ago and I loved it so much. I think it's such a great book, and the way it's written, it reminds me a lot of how Shark Heart is written, so if you read any of those and you love how one of them is written, read the other one, because both of them are written in similar ways. And yeah, in this one we follow a woman who is transcribing Death's life. Okay, so that was quite a long video. I'm filming for 40 minutes. I will have to edit out a lot of footage. Those are all the books that I got for first 4 months, for the first quarter of the year. I know that I said in all the books on my physical TBR video that I don't want to go on the book buying ban, and I still really do not want to, but currently I have another order coming up soon because I wanted to order Sunrise on the Reaping, and so I ordered that and a few more books, and I believe that I will, for at least in the next 2 months, try to not buy any books and just focus on the books that I already have, because I am very happy with the books that I have at home and that I can choose from currently. So yeah, I think I'm just going to try to read as many of these and the books that I own for longer. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!